We are hearing on talkSPORT that Mason Mount has agreed personal terms. It's all done. Personal terms with Manchester United. Transfer insiders Adi Oladipo, Rory Jennings. Time for a bit of daily Chelsea with the main man here, Mr. Chelsea fan and broadcaster, who knows absolutely everything about the club. He's getting a bit of stick, Mason Mount, isn't he, from you Chelsea lot online, saying he's no longer Chelsea. Obviously, this is the guy that's been at the club since he was, what, 7, 8?
Yeah, 8 years old. I mean, I would always take anything that's said online with a pinch of salt.
Even less, what's smaller than a pinch of salt?
I don't think it necessarily reflects the feeling, and I believe that Mason Mount will always be acknowledged as a Chelsea man. I think the issue that we have with Mount now is if he goes to a rival, which is looking like he will, obviously that will dilute the love that you could have for him. It's very difficult to love anyone who has, Chelsea DNA whilst they're in a Manchester United shirt. Of course it does. But I think circumstance is very important. And due to the tribal nature of football, due to the partisan approach that football fans naturally have, it's very difficult to look beyond the decision being made around Mason Mount going to Manchester United.
Are you surprised that the issue with Mason Mount, and we found it out at the back end of last season, was a bit more money? Right, he's looking at what all the other big players are on. Koulibaly's name got brought up a lot. If Chelsea went to him and said, okay, we can give you what you've asked for, and we don't know if it's the case, but we know they've offered him a new deal, are you surprised that he's potentially rejected that money and then wants out?
No, because what he wanted was parity. Like, Mason Mount has been chronically underpaid at Chelsea for the past 3 years. Like, Mason Mount doesn't earn anywhere near £100,000 a week. Like, that isn't normal for a professional footballer who is playing for England, winning European Cups and representing one of the biggest clubs in the country. Mason Mount has been chronically underpaid for such a long time. He is one of the lowest paid members in the Chelsea first team, and he earns less than £100,000 a week.
Yeah, and they've now agreed to up it.
No, now?
Yeah.
But now he's already arranged his future. His future. Now he's finally leaving. Now he's made a dramatic statement by saying that he's going to leave. Now they have suggested parity.
No, well, you could say that, but on the other side, you could say Mauricio Pochettino's come in and has clearly said, I want Mason Mount at the club. We're just playing hypotheticals there. Give him the money. I want him. I want to build it around him. He is Mr. Chelsea. He's a great player.
But it's gone sour now. Like, Mason Mount has been so underpaid for so long, and while he's been underpaid, he has been one of our best players. He has been our player of the year twice. That puts him in such elite company. It's very difficult to be Chelsea player of the year. It's very difficult to be Chelsea player of the year twice. The players that have done that in the past are players like Eden Hazard, Frank Lampard. It is the creme de la creme. Gianfranco Zola has been our player of the year twice. John Terry has been our player of the year twice. Mason Mount has been our player of the year twice. Chelsea fans love him. He was integral to us winning the European Cup. He has done everything in his power to keep Chelsea at the very top. I think he's a class act and has been done a massive disservice by this new ownership. I think the ire and the anger should be directed at the owners who have allowed a player of his quality, a player who means so much to us, a player who's been at the club since he was 8 years old. He has been watching Kalidou Koulibaly land at the club and earn £300,000 a week while he earns less than £100,000 a week. He is watching Raheem Sterling earn £300,000 a week while he earns less than £100,000 a week. He is watching Cucurella, Aubameyang earn far more than him when they aren't delivering, and he has been one of the best players at Chelsea over the years. Of course, now it's gone sour, and of course now he wants to leave.
How big a blow will it be to Chelsea? We've spoken about Declan Rice at length here, and we know how big a blow that will be to West Ham. Compare it. How big a blow will it be to Chelsea in replacing Mason Mount? Just what he brings to your midfield.
Yeah, I mean, our midfield is going to be threadbare without him. He is the heartbeat of a team that any team that he's in. Like, I think he's going to elevate Manchester United just hugely. He's very good on the ball. He has a great eye for a goal, but crucially, where he excels, he's actually incomparable to any player that I can really think of, is what he is like when the opposition have the ball. The way that he presses, he is a constant thorn in the side. He will make Manchester United a totally different project. He will make that Manchester United midfield totally different. Like, he is so much better than Christian Eriksen, isn't he? He's so much better than Eriksen. He will press. He will make Bruno Fernandes a better player. He will make life easier for Casemiro. He will score goals. And playing that left channel, which I believe is his best position, that left-sided number 8, that is where I believe he should be allowed to play. That
side there, then, of Luke Shaw, potentially Mason Mount, Marcus Rashford's fantastic.
It's brilliant.
That's
brilliant.
Fantastic.
Yes.
That could be England's left side.
Yeah, I mean, that's why his form has suffered. Obviously, he was injured a lot. He had that hip injury last year, but that is why he has been slightly unfortunate at Chelsea because he is better than so many of the other options at Chelsea. He's been played out of position. That won't happen at Manchester United. Ten Hag will allow him to embrace his perfect position, which is, in my opinion at least, a number 8 on the left, favouring the left, not in the middle.
Well, as we said, personal terms agreed. The deal in terms of the clubs agreeing a fee, not yet agreed. It looks like it might hit that £60 million mark. Remember, Mason Mount only has a year left on his contract. Sticking with Chelsea players, Romelu Lukaku, who I know you hate talk. I know you hate talking about him. Look, not going to go to Saudi Arabia. His lawyer said that he wants to stay in Europe. Talks ongoing with Inter. No talks with AC Milan. There's been rumours about a conversation there. What do you do with Lukaku?
There should be a principle regarding Romelu Lukaku. Chelsea need to adopt a principle. It isn't about does Romelu Lukaku elevate Chelsea's forward options. It isn't about does Romelu Lukaku improve Chelsea's first team. It isn't about is he the best number 9 available to Chelsea. There needs to be a principle. Romelu Lukaku should never have the opportunity to represent Chelsea again. He should never have the opportunity to wear the shirt. It's an honour to play for Chelsea, like it is an honour to play for any club. And he shouldn't have that honour. The way that he disrespected the club, the fans, his teammates, by going off to Italy and having that unsanctioned interview with Sky Italia is unforgivable. He was our £97 million man. He was earning more money than he could have ever dreamed when he signed for Chelsea. He was, at the time, we felt, the missing piece of the jigsaw. And yet, he has thrown it all away. He went off to Italy, he betrayed the club, and now there needs to be a principle. So now, whether you believe that he gets in the Chelsea team, whether you believe that Chelsea need him or not, there needs to be a principle applied, and he should never have the opportunity to represent Chelsea again.
Try and remove that from your brain if possible, that Sky Italia interview. If that didn't happen, would you still want him leading the line for Chelsea?
No, I don't think so, but what I can't deny to you, Addy, is he is obviously, when you look at our threadbare options up front, he is obviously the best striker that we have at our disposal. He's obviously a better player than Armando Broja at the moment. Therefore, of course, he gets in Chelsea's team. Like, this isn't necessarily reflective of the player that Romelu Lukaku is. I don't think he's a very good player. It's reflective of the options that Chelsea have available. You know, we had Aubameyang up front. Like, we have nothing going forward. So, is Romelu Lukaku one of the best players, one of the best forward players on Chelsea's books? Probably yes. But should the principle take over? He should never, ever wear the blue shirt. He should never, ever play at Stamford Bridge as a home player ever again. What he did to Chelsea, it was one of the biggest betrayals that I can think of. I mean, it's Iscariot levels, isn't it? It's Romelu Iscariot.
Yeah.
So no, he shouldn't be anywhere near.
To be at a club and then flirting with another club.
Telling the other club, he's gone off to Italy, had an unsanctioned interview. Chelsea knew nothing about it. He's sitting down with journalists going, do you know what? I wish I wasn't there. He'd been at the club for 3 months. It's a disgrace. And he should never get anywhere near the Chelsea first team again. But sadly, I believe that principle is lacking in football. And I think if he were to start for Chelsea, if Pochettino believed in him, he starts for Chelsea.
How much from Mauricio Pochettino wouldn't care about that? He's not going to care about that. It wasn't under his watch.
Well, he should. I think that there is a world, though, where he starts for Chelsea on the opening day of the season. Let's say he scored a couple of goals against Liverpool. I imagine that Chelsea fans will be singing his name. But that should never happen.
Yeah, indeed.